Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel today. So I just got home from work. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I was going to play some twos with a buddy, but I have no friends. Everybody's asleep. So that's not going to happen. I was going to show off, I'm doing decently in twos and I'm very happy with it or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm 2 games away from placements in ones. So I'll play ones. I can't get a ones game to save my life. So instead, I remembered I had a replay analysis to do. So that is what we're going to do today. So we're going to hop over into that right now. All right, so for this replay analysis, this is for Elvin. He is at this time a silver 1 div 4. It's 1v1. And basically he said he would just like to know how to improve defense and how to have better positioning because opponents can easily score against him and he doesn't know what to do to avoid that. So I'm gonna try my best not to be too picky because ones is something that I could talk forever about in my opinion, but there's a lot of stuff that's really subjective. Your opponent didn't go for kickoff, so I guess good to notice that. The dodge we could clean up a little bit, but overall it's not that bad. I prefer to see a side flip into the dodge on the ball. That's just personal recommendation. A good chip over the opponent as well. Your kickoffs are incredibly solid for silver. At this rank, I wouldn't be giving him that much respect and time. I would just go take the ball from him. He doesn't really he doesn't seem to really know what he's doing. So the way that I adopted when I was lower in ones, I looked at it as I'm going to give them no respect until they show me that they deserve respect. So I'm just going to rush everything until they show me that they can beat me. And once they can beat me, then I'll give them respect. It's just miscontrolled. Realize you have time to control that better. It's not a rush. Yeah, again, he just doesn't seem comfortable alone with a ball. That whole time, right there, whatever he was just doing, you could have definitely challenged. I don't understand what's happening here. I guess he decided to just give you the ball. I don't know if that was a lucky demo avoidance or what, but the fake wasn't a bad idea. The second time either. Little fortunate to get that in. Just once he is gone by, you could have taken your time a little bit more there. Let me pay a little bit more attention to the kickoff. Okay, you're a little bit straight onto the ball. It's not as good as it could be there. Remember, you kind of want to hit it right across the middle. You beat him, but the takeoff could have been better. So if you face a little bit more to where the ball is going to be instead of where it is exactly right now, because obviously it's going to take you time to get there. If you face just a little bit further to the right where the ball is going, this would have been an easier aerial for you. You might have been able to hit it forward instead of back. But either way, I mean, he was up for it, so you beat him. Yeah, I think it was just too much respect. And on top of that, you're not really covering any options. You're not blocking him really. If I show his perspective, you're not blocking any of the net at all. He's not worried about you whatsoever. I would If you are going to choose a defensive stance here, I would be closer to my own back post, because you're basically just saying, okay, go ahead and shoot it. I'm going to block it. That, or really what I would really recommend you do is just, like I said before, rush him until the point at which he proves to you that he deserves to be respected. Because in my opinion, you're giving him too much respect. I should probably switch back to you. They're just a little bit too patient. Fortunate that it's not a goal, but just reading that that's going to bounce into the middle and putting yourself in the proper position to clear that across your net faster, like getting it to it before him. I understand there's some nerves of own goaling or whatever. The reads come with time. Okay, there. You see, he is not giving you any respect. He is just sitting in your face. He's not giving you space. And he knows you don't have boost. So really, when you don't have boost here, I would... Okay, the boost just spawned. So I would get it. Kind of come over to the right of the ball and hit it to the left toward that boost, just so that you can pick it up and have something to work with. Not a bad attempt. Careful on the dodge here. It would have been good to wave dash if you dodged forward. It would have been fine, but you dodged backward. I'm not sure if that was an error or if you were just kind of messing around or what, but be careful with those. The patience paid out for you there. It's probably what you should do with that low boost count. But then again, you see what I'm saying. You just rushed him and he wasn't ready. And this is where the ball went off of your challenge, I believe. So you didn't really have a whole lot of control over that. Yeah. I would say you didn't need that boost, though. I would say that. So instead of going wide for that boost, just acknowledge that ball is going to bounce middle. And the only reason that he got to the ball at the same time as you is because you went out wide for this boost. But if you had stayed in line to where the ball was going to be, you would have beaten him to an opportunity to score. Here, you have plenty of boosts, but you go for a wave dash instead, which it seems like you're not super comfortable with. I would just stick to boosting and front flipping as normal, because I think you would have been fine. You would have got there a little bit sooner and had a better challenge angle if you had just front flipped instead of the wave dash. Solid kickoff there. Okay, that's not bad. What I would work toward in the future, and something to take away into training, is trying to put yourself in a position to power shot this ball on net as it bounces. So instead of being where you are, basically I'd be lining myself up like here, roughly, and then a diagonal dodge through the ball as it bounces will put this on net. Good half flip. The way you went to jump here, you went too far in, first of all, because he's always going to try to get this back middle. Instead of backing up once you've made that mistake, I would drive up the wall and drive back towards your net with some boost, you know, some rush to it, and you would be in a better position to potentially get this off the wall. But as well, when you do jump, it looks like you're trying to jump to block where he's going to put the ball, and I would recommend you almost never do that. What you want to do is jump to go toward the ball. You don't want to try to guess where he's going to put it and block it unless you absolutely have to. Like, this is a situation where you could have tried to go directly for the ball, and you would have ended up cutting off more angles, as well as keeping him from getting that little touch that actually gave him the goal there. Okay, this I would not recommend aerialing for. You got lucky he didn't touch it. If he got underneath that and caught it, you've fully committed already to a ball that's in the corner and kind of hard to score, and he, like I just said, could touch it and keep it from bouncing. And once that mistake is made, I would prioritize turn right and take his boost immediately, because his only touch is going to be into this corner. You can see that based on where he's facing. His only touch is, if he's trying to touch it quickly, is to touch it back into the corner. So if you take that boost, you're forcing him to a position where he can't pick up any boost, and you're more prepared than him for this situation, because you see he touches it toward the boost, and if you had taken that boost, he wouldn't have had any. Good awareness once you do spawn to block him, though. It's not a bad challenge. That was alright as well. It just kind of seems like, in general, you're not super confident with how the ball is going to come off the wall, especially in the corner. So I would just spend more time in free play hitting the ball off the wall, and then once you hit it into the wall, try to hit it as quick as possible after it bounces, so that you have to engage your mind into where the ball is going to go. And once you know that, you can position yourself better for a situation like this, because if you had read where this was going and had gone toward it instead of turning back towards your net, you could have just pushed that straight in the net. I certainly can't say that I would recommend a silver 2 ceiling shot attempt. The thing about ones, in my personal opinion, you want to stick to something that you are scoring the majority of the time, that doesn't take you out of the play too much. This, in general, is not something you're going to score a lot of the time. No offense to you, but, you know, you're a silver. And on top of that, you picked up 100 boost, which was great, but you've now used all 100 of that boost. You're in his goal, and he has the ball going toward your net. You're taking yourself completely out of the play there. Whereas if you just take this boost and make a soft touch off the wall and carry it down into a dribble, because once you take that boost, he turns and gives you space, and you want to take advantage of that space. So if you just take a soft touch to where it bounces off the wall and turn down and possess it for a dribble, that's a higher percentage play. That's a safer play. You're not going to be as much out of the play as you would be at the end of this. Even if you did score this, you know, it's still very risky, so I wouldn't recommend doing it. again until you're at a place where you're scoring ceiling shots like 100% of the time. You know, assuming they don't make an amazing save or whatever. This aerial is just a kind of a mechanical mistake. The first thing I would encourage you to recognize is that this is not going to get to the net without first hitting the ground. So based on that, combined with the fact that as soon as he did touch it, he turned away, that is a signal to you that you can just try to catch this into a dribble and not worry about trying to aerial for this. There's no pressure on it whatsoever. And you kind of just put extra pressure on yourself to do something more difficult than you have to, which leads to that error. That's not bad. He was certainly not expecting you to do that, and your touch once you did get the ball into the air was actually very good as well. I'm not sure. I guess he decided not to try and score because he thought the clock would be burned, but you do very good to keep that up and flick it in the net. That was impressive. Great job. Okay, so this is one I don't know for sure because I have my settings on my account, but I would recommend that if you don't already, you turn on nameplates all of the time so that you have a better idea of how slow he is to this ball, so you don't end up getting dunked like that. And you can adjust your kickoff accordingly. That's a big thing in ones. You want to pay almost more attention to what the opponent is doing because the ball is not moving. The ball is always going to be there. So, yeah. But that was smart to wait for him because his only play was to touch it into the middle. So that was smart and a good boost steal to get there. Just a little unfortunate you couldn't reach it. There, it seems like you read the bounce down very well. Nice. And you actually did end up winning, so good job. This is definitely solid gameplay. Better than I would expect mechanically for a silver, as I believe I said the last time I did one for you. But it kind of seems like you're trying to force mechanics too far. If you get what I'm saying, like the wave dash in your recovery when you could have just normally front flipped. Don't do things that add extra difficulty for no extra benefit. Like, you know, the wave dash that you didn't need to do because you could have just front flipped. The ceiling shot that you went for when you could have taken the ball down and gone for a dribble. You want to focus on high percentage smart plays in 1v1 because it's all about keeping the risk low. You want to be able to get back and defend whatever they might have immediately as soon as you shoot. You want to be ready to defend, basically, if possession switches. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that helped you. If you have any more questions, you can always hit me up on Discord for more detailed discussion about it. And yeah, that'll be all I have for you. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.